that is used to teach this gospel to children. It starts out, Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. Climbed a sycamore tree. And Deacon, how's the rest of it going?
For the Lord he wanted to see.
Okay. Zacchaeus is not the only short person in the world. And we're not talking, well, the gospel references that we're talking short in stature. I would like to suggest to you that a lot of people are short. And a lot of people don't think they're worthy of God because of their shortcomings. So you can be 6'7", and you're afraid to approach God because you think you've done something that makes you completely anathema to the Lord. And what we hear in the scriptures today is the exact opposite of that. Because Jesus makes the statement to our short friend Zacchaeus that I've come to stay in your house today. And Jesus says to you and to me over the 2,000 years, I've come to stay in your house today. You see, the Lord doesn't put up these litmus tests that we put up for ourselves. There are people that turn away from Christianity because they think they are just not worthy. Some people look at themselves because they've done something in their life that is just, they perceive it as so detestable that how could God forgive it? There are others because of their situations in life, whether they find themselves to be divorced, married several times over. Perhaps it's their sexual orientation, their economic status. They feel they're unworthy. And Jesus says, none of that matters. In the book of wisdom, we hear that the Lord just is looking for a contrite heart. He wants us to turn to him. Paul makes the point as well. Not to let ourselves get upset about what people write outside of what the true message of the Gospels is, or what people say, but that to trust in the Lord, to place our confidence there, to open ourselves to Jesus. And then we have the gospel. Salvation has come to your house today. And look at Zacchaeus' response. Now, you have to understand that as a tax collector, most of Jewish society looked upon him as a pariah. He was somebody that wasn't worthy. They referred to him as a publican in some writings. But when the Lord embraces him and welcomes him, what's his response? Look at that generosity of spirit. Half of his belongings. Would that we all had that kind of wealth. But we don't. And it's not that the church is looking for money. But look at the rest of his response. And that's the kind of response that we can have. The church asks us to give of our time. That's the chief treasure that you and I have. The time that we give to others. The time we spend listening or visiting. The deacon and I had an opportunity this morning, after we had already anointed this woman who will probably pass in the next several days. But her family wasn't present, and they arrived after we were preparing to leave. And we took the time just to go be with them. 5 minutes is all it took. But the sense of relief that that family felt just from having somebody come and spend some time with them. Those are the sorts of things that not only that we do, but that you can do. Talents. What is it that you are good at that you can share with others? I used the example at the nursing home this morning of Bob Stewart. And Bob's gone to live in Texas now, but Bob's a former United States Marine. And Bob's talent was singing and storytelling. And man, could he tell some whopper of stories. It's something else. But he also loved to sing. And so he'd get his fellow residents together and they'd have a sing-along. Not necessarily any, it's not Pavarotti, but it was a talent he enjoyed and he shared it. And it created a sense of community between people. And then there is, of course, treasure. And as you know, we try to use whatever you give us here for the good of all. We do our best with what we have. And that's what Jesus asks of us. Respond to the gift of faith somehow. Your choice. But know that the gift of faith is yours without having to do anything except accept it. Because salvation has come to you today. This coming week, I hope you will take the opportunity to share either your time, your talent, or your treasure with those that are in need. And rejoice in knowing that you are indeed special to the Lord. No matter what your shortcomings, salvation has come to you.